record. I then want to pause and just look at the structure of the SAPS and the constitutional responsibilities, especially between yourself and the minister. That is in the affidavit at page 9. And then, of course, we will look at to one of the central aspects of this inquiry, the formation of the PKTT, the Political Killing Stars team, the performance of that team, your involvement, if any, with the team. Then we look at the minister's directive that calls for the immediate disestablishment of the team. We will then focus on an email that a Brigadier Letoko, who you are familiar with, General, Brigadier Letoko, in your office.
Yeah, she does work in my office, Honorable Chair.
So we'll then spend some time on that, because it's alleged that she had sent an email to Lieutenant General Sibiya in relation to the directive. We will also discuss your meeting with the President, where the PKTT was discussed with him. Your meeting with the
Senior Counsel, the honorable member is struggling to hear you.
Chair, maybe if you can pull the mic towards him a little bit. I was struggling to hear him.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. Apologies, Honourable Members. Is that a bit better?
Let's just hold it there. Honorable Ngola.
Is there a volume that one can? Is that?
Switch it off that one. Yeah. I think, Chair, generally, I get what Mr. Nomvalo is saying. Generally, the sound here is so low in the chamber. If there's our support team can consult up there if they can't work out something. It's very low. Even yourself, Chair, you are low in terms of the voice. So I think it's the chamber itself. So if they can look at it from that angle. Thank you.
Yeah, we do need the aircon, but it is also quite loud. Can you hear me now?
Must we switch off the aircon?
Sorry. Okay. May I proceed, Honourable Chair? Thank you. Sorry, General. So we're just looking at the themes that we will focus on. The meeting that you attended on the 5th of March before the Police Committee here in Parliament. The meeting the very next day, the 6th of March, where there was a presentation. Minister was also, there was a presentation on the winding down plans for the task team. We will spend some time looking at the Media 24 Tswane contract, the Medicare contract. We'll deal with at annexes SFM 22 and SFM 23. In your statement, you referred to some false narratives in the media. We'll deal with that. And then we'll focus lastly again on the PKTT. So just confirm, please, that these are all topics that are covered in your statement, your sworn statement, and that you are familiar with these topics and that you would be comfortable in dealing with them in your evidence?
I do confirm, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. As discussed with you in our briefing meeting this morning, I indicated to you that the approach will be somewhat different to the approach adopted in the Commission, because we only have you here today and tomorrow. You won't be recalled to be examined or re-examined or cross-examined, rather, by other, especially persons who are implicated in this process. So we have to ask as many questions. Hopefully you regard them as relevant to the terms of reference as possible. So we may, as it were, go off your statement and ask you about other matter for your comment. If you have any knowledge about them, then you will no doubt respond. If you don't, you just need to indicate that you are not able to comment. Is that in order?
That's in order, Honorable Chair, members.
Thank you. So, General, just you just by way of background, also you're familiar with the terms of reference of this committee, and we're not going to go over that again. That you will find from page 3 and 4, 5 of your affidavit. General?
Yeah, that's correct. I am familiar, Honorable Chair.
Okay. So if we...
Yeah, everything is clear. Well, I can summarily say I joined the police back in 1987, and I worked in various provinces, including Western Cape during the Pagat times. I worked in the Free State for quite long. I worked in Gauteng. I worked in KZN as unit commander, POP, and later I work as National Head of Operations in Pretoria, head office. And I work as a Deputy Provincial Commissioner in KwaZulu-Natal for 10 years. I left in 2010 and work as a Divisional Commissioner for Protection and Security Service from 2010 until 2011. And 5 months I worked as Acting Divisional Commissioner for Crime Intelligence, and thereafter I worked as a Deputy National Commissioner for Policing in 2012. In 2013, I went to Limpopo as a Provincial Commissioner, and in 2016, back to head office as a Deputy National Commissioner Policing. And in 2022, 1st of April, as you say, then I was appointed as National Commissioner of SAPS.
Thanks, General. Honorable Chair, there's some... Okay. Yeah, we can... Is it outside? Yeah. Thank you, General. So, just in terms of your experience having been appointed in March 2022, that would have been by our current president.
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
Since 2022 to date, just in summary form, what would you describe, or how would you describe the state of policing in our country?
Well, I will describe the state of policing as well, quite challenging, taking into account various factors that the country is facing since COVID-19. The country has never been the same. There is a lot of unemployment, and that also brings the element of crime and new crime. And of course, most of the countries, they are looking for where they can look for gold or something to eat. And that South Africa, unfortunately, becomes a destination of choice. You recall a few years ago that South Africa as a country signed quite a number of treaties. We have a free protocol on movement, freedom of movement in Africa, AU. We have got also the protocol on freedom of movement in SADC, but that does not in practice mean people will move from here to north. It means they all move south, which makes the resources of the country to be under pressure, and as a result, crime becomes a problem, new forms of crime that is imported in the country. Policing is quite under pressure, and unfortunately, the society look for everything from police. They expect if a child don't go to school, it's a problem of police. If the spouses have confrontation, where were the police? And so it's quite challenging. The policing of today can never be associated or described as the policing of 30 years ago. It's quite challenging and requires, of course, new South African Police Service. We are trying our best to cope with what we have, but we do have, of course, limitation of resources. Resources are not in abundance, and population and challenges are growing far more faster than.
Just in summary, well, firstly, the one thing I didn't notice is that you don't have expertise in social work or social development, because it seems to me that's a necessary qualification now for a police officer too. Just
Yes.
from what you describe, you now expected when children are not going to school, and there's issues with them. Of course, domestic violence, especially gender-based violence, is a huge problem in our country. So a lot of social problems too that you have to deal with.
That is true, Honorable Chair. I normally say that you do not go into a McDonald's and order a beer. You don't do that. But with regard to South African Police Service, that is the case. We expect police to work and deal with criminals and show a certain posture. But at the same time,